So we sponsored Zaituni originally in Africa, and she grew out of the program that she was in. That's when we found Genesis, who's in the Dominican, and we've been sponsoring her now for the past several years. It was really cool to be able to write back and forth with them. They would always be drawing Jaden and I pictures, and it was almost like having like an extra sibling in another part of the world. Our parents are so generous, and being able to always like learn from them and see that example from them, putting like our first fruits towards the church or other mission organizations and things like that has always just been a huge part of our lives. When I started my business last summer, I made a vision board, and I was like, these are the things I want to do with my money. Sponsoring a child was always on my list, and so I was super excited last month when I actually did it. That was like a huge goal that I checked off my list, which was super exciting, as I wanted to be able to give someone else the opportunities that I have now. And we aren't always thinking about how education and clothes to wear are such a huge blessing, but just the fact that I was able to give that to someone else who would otherwise not have that was one of the biggest reasons. And now I just want to go on and sponsor every single child. The day that I sponsored Confiance, I got an email from Mission Life, and it was a link to a YouTube video of Confiance saying how he was looking for a sponsor, and that brought me to tears. Like being able to actually see him and hear him talking, seeing the video, I just started crying. I was so excited. The way Mission Life is doing everything is so different than the way that we used to sponsor our children, and I just thought it was super cool to be able to like hear his voice and see him. That's something I had never seen before, of the children being sponsored. We all have the resources to do like the things that we want to do. For me, it had just like always been a goal and something I wanted to do, that I think when you make that like a priority, then it's just something that would happen. I think if I hadn't like grown up in the same household I did, I wouldn't have a lot of the values I do. But like growing up, always watching my family do the things they did, and definitely compassion and empathy and putting others before yourself, which we're not taught that a lot nowadays. So I think that would definitely be the most important thing, which I'm so thankful I learned that like from a young age.
Well, welcome back. 1880, first hour. Yeah. My brother.
Way to go, guys.
What a blessing.
Way to go.
Thank you so much for everybody who's participating in this this event, and for sharing this page, for sharing this Facebook Live and our program and this whole event. Thank you for those donors. I want to shout out to Jill Jones and Taste the Cone, and just a bunch of other people. We have 3 children being sponsored so far.
Yeah. And
I want to say thank you to Neil and Kelsey for sponsoring Little Angel and their son JD and their daughter Hannah. This is just a match made in heaven for them and for Little Angel in Bogota. And thanks to Bethany, who sponsored her number 7 child. Well, thank you. Let it be light. Yeah, a little dark skin means light, right?
We both are Colombian.
Hey, yeah, I know, bro. You can pass for a light Colombian.
Lebanese.
Yeah, there you go. But yeah, so top of the hour, 10 a.m. We're back here live in Darien, New Hampshire, Mission Life, Angel, and my brother Greg.
This is one of my favorite segments in the day.
Yes.
I'm going to say that often today, but this is one of my favorite. You just got to hear from Jenna, somebody who's,
ripple effect.
My age. I mean, not quite your age, but my age, and feeling the impact and hear her story of somebody who's young, Gen Y, and wanting to give back and wanting and seeing the difference through this platform of how empathy is being driven through everything that we do.
That ripple effect of anything that you do to change or to help another life change, and to see a young woman so devoted and in love to just now that she's able, right? Because she said, now that I'm working, now that I have my business going, I'm able to give back, do it on my own. And so looking back at what she did when she was younger, when she was a child with her family and her little brother, I was lucky enough to actually do that interview with Jenna. And what they share was how every so often, every month, or whatever amount of time they took in between letters, they were looking forward to that moment where they will sit down and write this letter and just paint a picture, color, just to send to those children they were communicating.
They did it together as a family.
And now, years later, when she is an adult, she's able to give back out of her own. Her heart's just so full of that empathy and that love and that generosity.
She's going to pass that on to her family eventually.
And it's so cool. And I love what she said is that she sees the difference by looking at that child's smile and hearing his voice makes such a big impact, right? And that's what we want to talk about this segment. We want to talk about how through this organization, through this program, through something as simple as a child sponsorship, right? $39 changes the life of a child. They get their food, they get their uniforms, their school supplies, they get that guidance, that support to grow spiritually with the Christian values and principles, to be those leaders, the next generation that will do as Jenna was showing us to do, right? Just to go and help others, right? That's the ripple effect that we're looking at. And so just to hear her testimony was just so encouraging to know that we do have that power. Little by little, we can change each and one of these children. And through that, what we found was the relationship piece of things, right? You sponsor a child. We have 125 families right now connecting with children across the world in different countries, right? I mean, and the opportunity of bringing another 300, 400, 500 different families here in our community.
And it's so cool because we wouldn't normally think of it with traditional sponsorship in that way. We would think, hey, we have 125 or 400 children benefiting from our programs. We love to look at it from, there's another 125 plus families benefiting from this interaction, from this process.
Because when you mentioned traditional child sponsorship, I want to emphasize what I heard many times. People came to me and asked, why don't you help children here? What about our children? I mean, we have just so much need here for children, for those next generations to grow knowing what empathy means, right? And that it helped me realize, yes, we have that. We have the power to do it with the child sponsorship and connecting them. And what I found through all these years is that what you mentioned, the traditional child sponsorship, there was an opportunity to make that connection. So utilizing technology, and we're going to talk a little bit more about that because we have such a cool way to connect through a video where you can actually see and learn about the child and the personality. And you know what I learned through the time of doing this? Somebody once said, "Oh yeah, that's so cool," and I actually can see where my money's going.
Yeah, the tangible.
And I was just like, bing, like awesome, beautiful. That it takes from that skepticism, right? That you're giving towards something. I'm not saying that it is not true that other organizations are doing a tremendous, fabulous job, and we're not here to compete. But what I'm saying is that we found a way to make it tangible, more tangible, where you can actually have a relationship with your child. And the ripple effect that is making in this community. I mean, it's just beautiful because we want the families to be involved, right? I mean, you have a little one, and
yeah, it's amazing the experience, what you able to get to do through the tool and interact. And we're going to show a really fun example with a family of ours, the Wilkins, and take you to that right now and show you another family who are involved together in this process, communicating with their child, and they're sending a video to their child and saying hello in this communication as well. So check out the Wilkins right now.
Hola, Jimena. ¿Cómo estás? This is Caroline.
I'm Rob.
I'm Ava and I'm 12. I'm Anna and I'm 10.
And who are you?
I don't want to talk about
This is Lucas, and he's 5.
Él es Lucas.
We
y
wanted
tiene
to send
5
you a
años.
video to say thank you so much for the videos you sent us. They have been awesome, and we have all really enjoyed watching them. We wanted to say that we hope that you are having an awesome year in school and that you're having so much fun at the foundation. And we're glad that our team of people are down there and can visit you and give you hugs and snuggles because we can't go with them this time.
Hola.
Okay. All right. Well, we're gonna say bye, but we hope to get.
hugs and snuggles.
What a fun example of a family together, getting to interact, and they get to receive and watch the videos together. They get to send them together as a family as well. And our amazing team of translators and our volunteers to help to connect those dots so that we can send these messages to children in different countries, and Rwanda, Guatemala, Colombia, and communicate together, break down those barriers of language, of technology, where we can come into a whole other country and build a relationship with somebody where we normally wouldn't be able to.
And understanding their struggles and live through their example, right? When you bring your family together to sponsor a child, and I mean, you saw little Luke. He's like excited. They interact. They know there's another person. Thousands of miles away, just receiving this message, and they're just enjoying that relationship, and at the same time, they're growing up with this idea of we can care for others. We ought to care for others.
I was just going to say, it's such an amazing tool for parents to be able to use this as a tool to teach them a real life example of how do you care for somebody else who's maybe even their age as a child. Across the world who may not have the same privileges.
That's the ripple effect.
It's amazing.
That's the ripple effect. Just bringing your family together once a month. Simple video. Hello, here's what we're doing, and our pet is doing this trick, or what is it that you do? That you share? Play an instrument.
Yeah, I mean, I don't play it. I'm not musically talented, so.
I mean, you name it, but being able to bring everybody together, right? Your kids and your family. We have a few other examples of that, right?
Like, and for us, we like to send pictures, right? Because we're more artistic than we are musical. So we'll send a picture, we'll draw something, we'll write it in Spanish because our little girl Tatiana is in Colombia, and so we like to send her message in Spanish. And so, for example, this next video, you're going to see these young kids involved sending, drawing pictures, and they're going to send those and take pictures to their child and send it to them so they can check it out on their end too through their video. So check this out.
¿Qué quieres preguntarle?
¿Cuál es tu favorito color del mundo entero?
Ok.
Mundo entero.
Hola, Ana. Bueno, ahora, ¿qué están haciendo en este momento? A ver, ¿qué van a hacer?
Vamos a lo que ellas quieran pintar, un dibujo,
Vamos a pintar algo para tú, todo. Tan bonito that you're gonna like it.
Ok, bueno, listo, comenzamos entonces. A 3, 2, 1. ¿Está puesto?
Welcome to our new family. dibujo es para ti.
Con mucho cariño. Ay, nada más, no hacer nada más. ¿Me quieres conocer?
Te quiero conocer.
Que te mande un video.
¿Me mandas un video?
Dice que Dios te bendiga. Tenemos el unicorn. Un mensaje por acá, unos stickers. Bueno, ahí está.
Oh,
Despídanse de...
Dile chao, Dana.
Chao, Ana.
Dios te bendiga.
Chao.
That's so cool.
It's so much fun. I mean, to be able to do that and send messages to your friend, you know, they become a friend. They become a member of your family.
Especially during this time of pandemic when you are stuck at home and the kids are there 100% of the time, and just this type of activities made it, I guess, a lot easier to cope with that, staying home 24/7. And we found, so I had just a quick story to share. One of my friends stopped by my house a few months back, and I was asking him about how he was doing with the pandemic and his girlfriend. And he mentioned she's a teacher for kindergartens, and he said she's having a hard time because she is teaching via video. And now that she could do a live lesson with her kids, but she had to pre-record that video and send it to the children, and each kid will have to record a video to send it back to her as the answers for the lesson, right? And at that moment, I realized this is where we are gearing towards. This is where we're going towards, right? Technology and staying home and connecting, right? Globalization. Why can't we do globalization through child sponsorship to impact the life of our families here? I mean, think about, you know, a developing country where you meet these beautiful children, so inspiring, so happy, despite the fact of the struggles and whatever their lives, whatever they go through, but they still have this joy and this love, and they are able to transmit it through a video. So I thought that was pretty cool.
And it's really special because this is a tool that you can use to build a relationship when you can't be present in person, right? And so that time where you could be present in person, like through a mission trip, you can go meet that child. And so that combination of both, being able to meet them when times where you're able to travel and such open up, you know, that is just a beautiful way to say hello and have fun, play games, and we'll talk about what that looks like for a mission trip. And this is that in-between time when you're continuing that relationship and using video and staying engaged together and talking.
It's like going to a virtual trip. So once per month you can have that communication. And one of the things that Luciana, the girl in this video, she said, "Welcome to our family." It's like you're welcoming another child, another person to your family. You're adopting that life in a sense, right? Because it's that relationship. You become family. And to know that kids here are having that opportunity is priceless.
I love it. The translation when we came down there in Colombian and Spanish countries is godparent, right? And so you really are coming in as a alongside this child.
Sent by God.
Yeah, exactly.
So cool. Well, thank you again for watching, for tuning in, for your messages, your likes, your hearts.
We're going to be going on a mission trip virtually coming up next. And we're going to, one of our next segments, and we're going to be talking about mission trips. And we're going to have a special friend here today, Jill, talk about her experience going on a trip, meeting the child that she sponsored, coming back, and the ripple effect that then came after those moments. And that experience that then eventually led to me meeting Mission Life. And so I get to be here with that friend and talk about that story together. Hi, Maureen. Thanks for joining us. And so join us next. So at 11 o'clock, top of the hour, we'll be talking about mission trips and the impact it can be into your life today. So have some fun, guys. We'll see you soon.